And we hope everybody enjoyed the meal. We are going to do some recognitions before we begin with our contributor awards. One of the things that we like to do each year is recognize our former inductees who have come back to celebrate with the current inductees. And I hope I don't miss anybody as we go through, but we're going to start with the inaugural class of 2002, and I believe we only have one inductee here from that class, and that is Coach Bill Jones. If you would stand up, Coach. All the way back there in the back. Coach Bill Jones. We have one inductee here from the class of 2003. Dr. Andy Finley is here. I don't think we have anybody here from the class of 04, but we do have a couple of guys from the class of 2005. Thomas Raines, right back there. And Gerald Thomas. He's enjoying dessert. I don't believe we have anybody here from the class of 2006. We got a couple here from 07. Mike Little Sr., right back there. And also Ken Tyler. He's just going to wave because he's got a bum leg. Don't think we have anybody here from 08. From the class of 2009, Bobby Buford is here, right there in the middle. And also Dr. Richard Ferguson. Don't believe there's anybody here from the class of 2010 or 2011, but we do have someone from 2012. Frank Baker is here with us tonight. We have a couple of inductees from the class of 2013. Nathan Cole is here tonight. And so is Kim Porch, right back there. I don't think we have anybody here from 2014. From the class of 2015, Mike Horton is with us tonight, right back there, Frog. From the class of 2016, Rick Marsh is here. From the class of 2017, Connie Vaughn is with us tonight. From the class of 2018, Shannon J. Allen is here. And so is Archie Anderson. Archie. Class of 2019, Kenneth Adams is with us tonight. Where's Coach Adams? Right back there. And also Joe Teal, sitting right next to him. I don't think we have anybody here from the class of 2020. From the class of 2022, Charlie Jimerson is with us tonight. So is Paul Maccabee, right back there. Buddy McMore is with us, right over there. And I am here. Thank you. From the class of 2023, Lowell Edmonds is with us tonight. Bill Aaron is here, right back there. Johnny Pelham is with us tonight, right over there. From the class of 2024, Jimmy Jones is with us, right there. And also Alan Thacker is here tonight, right there. Are there any inductees that we missed? Anybody? Lord, I hope not. All right. One of the things I want to do as well is introduce you to our Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board. Our president is Mr. Shannon J. Allen, right over here. Our vice president, Dr. Richard Ferguson. Treasurer from Boaz, Frank Maston, right back there. And our secretary from Boaz is Ricky Smith, right over there. Our representative from Albertville are Bill Aaron, Joey Baker, and Mike Little Sr. Our representatives from ARAB are Brad Kitchens, right back there, Kim Porch, and Kevin Surrett. I am one of our representatives from Boaz, along with Frank Maston and Ricky Smith. From Douglas, Jalen Jimerson and Barry Mayhall. Where are you, Barry? Right back there. From Grant, we have Stacy Anderton and Jim Bradshaw, right over there. And our Gunnersville representatives are Jonathan Hyde, Rick Marsh, and Mitch Shelton. They're all right back there. So we appreciate our board and what they do every year to be able to put this banquet on, because you're going to see, if you haven't figured it out already, there's a lot of work that goes into putting this together. And our board does a great job of that. And so that gets us to where we are now. Last year, the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors, those people you just met, most of them, began recognizing people who have contributed significantly to athletics and sports in the communities of Marshall County. Our first two contributors recognized last year were Bill Prickett from Albertville and Dr. John Bogus from Gunnersville. This year, we have 4 contributors that we are recognizing. These men will receive a special plaque for their service to their community and to Marshall County. Now, I don't know how this worked out, but 3 of them have the last name Smith. Isn't that weird? But our first one does not. Our first contributor is a lifelong resident of Grant and a graduate of KDS DAR High School, where he played baseball and basketball. He coached his daughters in youth sports, officiated basketball, and volunteered his time in helping construct the first track and tennis courts at DAR. He has always been involved in his community. He's been a member of the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors since its inception. He's volunteered in the press box for DAR football since the program started in 2005. He's been a Grant City Council member for the past 17 years. He's a deacon at First Baptist Church of Grant. He served in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand as part of the U.S. Air Force and was awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. He and his wife, Faye, have been married 64 years, and they have 2 children, Tammy and Tina, and 1 grandson, Chris Hamby. From DAR and Grant, our first contributor tonight is Mr. Jim Bradshaw. Congratulations, Jimmy. Our next contributor is a former 3-sport athlete at Albertville High School, where he played football, baseball, and track. He went on to become a student trainer with the football team at the University of Alabama, and then later at Life University School of Chiropractic, soccer, basketball, and hockey teams. He's a certified sports fitness chiropractor, a chiropractic extremity practitioner, and a certified chiropractic sports practitioner. He contributes his time and specialized chiropractic skills for student athletes at Albertville High School, as well as the Aggie Band and show choirs. He performs these services in exchange for canned food items that he then donates to local charities like CASA and Kelly's Rainbow. He has implemented multiple scholarships and internships for high school students participating in the AHS Sports Science program. He earned his Eagle Scout in 1982, and he's been active in youth programs at Southside Baptist Church and is a life group leader at Life Point Church. Our next contributor from Albertville, Dr. John Allen Smith. Congratulations, John Allen. Our next contributor volunteered for over 30 years coaching recreational baseball teams. He volunteered for over 25 years coaching the ARAB high school baseball team. He helped coach the first ever ARAB junior high baseball team. He coached the Gillum Springs Baptist Church softball teams and coached ARAB's semi-pro baseball team. He organized and ran a free baseball clinic for all the youth in the Arab area. He was recognized in 1981 by Arab City Schools as the Friend of Education for his years of service and volunteer coaching. He was recognized in 2007 as an Earth Angel. He was named Citizen of the Year in 2009 for the city of Arab, and he had a monument dedicated to him and Hall of Fame inductee Coach Bill Morgan at the Arab High School baseball field for all their years of service. Our next contributor from Arab, Coach James Shorty Smith. Congratulations, Shorty. Our final contributor has been a mainstay around Boaz athletics since he was a high school student. He began keeping stats for the BHS football team for the 1984 season, and he continues to do that to this day. He began as the radio analyst for Boaz football prior to the 1994 season and will broadcast his 32nd consecutive season this fall. He's kept the clock for Boaz High School basketball off and on since the late 80s, including the past 20 years consecutively. He has done public address work for Boaz Middle School and Boaz High School JV football games for many years. He announces the starting lineups at BHS basketball games. He has been the PA voice of the Marshall County basketball tournament for the last 12 years, and he has represented Boaz on the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board since 2007. He compiles and updates the Boaz High School football record book, and he has written about Boaz football and other BHS athletic teams for the Sand Mountain Reporter and the Gadsden Times since 2005. Our next contributor from Boaz, Ricky Smith. Congratulations, Ricky. And now we're going to begin our inductions for the 2025 class. Our first inductee is Stephen Clark. Turn your attention to the video boards.
Hey folks, Mark Brickey, Sand Mountain Toyota. There's a lot to consider when buying a truck. Towing capacity, cab space, gas mileage, resale value. When you're talking with your salesman, is he willing to sit behind the wheel of the same kind of truck he claims to stand behind? Here at Sand Mountain Toyota, we buy what we sell. Not only do we stand behind our trucks, we put our own money and trust in Toyota trucks, just like you. Come by and check out our huge selection of popular Toyota trucks. Sand Mountain Toyota, we're more than a dealership.
Since 1952, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service has been the place to take your vehicle for service you can trust. Our family takes pride in carrying on the tradition of providing great service, working with integrity, and giving back to the community. For tires, batteries, auto services, and more, choose the people you can trust. With 10 locations to serve you, including Albertville and Gunnersville, at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Some days, you've got big things to care about. Like that. And that. Luckily, the Whirlpool Smart Range automatically updates itself with features like Air Fry. So you can worry less about keeping up with the latest tech and care more about keeping up with the latest trends. Say cheese. Everyday care, Whirlpool.
Visit the helpful, knowledgeable staff at Bonds Appliance on Gunner Avenue in Gunnersville.
Your local Foodland Market. Your store for everyday low prices and weekly specials with savings on every aisle and friendly customer service throughout the store. We sell only the best USDA inspected meats. Our trained meat cutters offer fresh cut meats to your specification. Our fruits and vegetables are always fresh. Quality and variety you deserve every day. Your local Foodland Market, where savings plus service plus selection equals satisfaction.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Stephen Clark. Stephen Lee Clark was born in Tullahoma, Tennessee on November 1st, 1997, to Angie and Steve Clark. He has an older sister, Caitlin, who played soccer growing up in Arab, Alabama. Steve's father played baseball in California and supported his son's interest in football by taking him to camps to help him develop the skills necessary for success. Stephen's grandfather, Gene Clark, was a U.S. Marine and had a significant influence in helping him to develop the mental and physical toughness necessary to be successful in athletics and life. Stephen started playing sports at age 6 on the Brindley Mountain Youth Baseball team known as the Little Rascals. At 7, he started playing youth football. Stephen played football and basketball when he entered the 7th grade at Brindley Mountain Middle School and was very successful in both. By the time he entered the 8th grade, Stephen was 6'2" and weighed over 200 pounds. He was a 4-year starter at BMHS as an offensive and defensive lineman and was the team leader in defensive sacks and blocked 3 kicks for the Lions. Stephen's intensity on the field earned him all Marshall County, all Tennessee Valley, all region, and all state recognitions. He was also the team captain in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. Stephen credits his high school coaches, Chris Littleton and Ron Reese, with helping him develop the skills and work ethic necessary to perform successfully. Stephen was also an all-county center on the 2014-15 basketball team that went all the way to the Sweet 16 in the AHSAA tournament. In the spring, he participated in track and field and placed second in the shot put at the AHSAA regional meet. Stephen was also a 2-time state champion in the Alabama State powerlifting competition. In addition to his athletic accomplishments at BMHS, Stephen was an excellent student. He took advanced placement classes, ranked 8th in the 2015 graduating class, and was a district scholar. Many college football programs were interested in signing Stephen to their football roster. He decided to play for Coach Scott Schaefer at Syracuse University in New York. As a freshman in 2015, Stephen played in all 12 games, making 21 tackles and 2 sacks. Against Louisville, he had 2 fumble recoveries and batted down a pass. In 2016, Stephen had 16 tackles in 9 games before being sidelined with an MCL sprain. This injury led to the formation of blood clots in his knee. He was not cleared to play football in the summer and decided to transfer to Western Michigan University. At WMU, Stephen worked hard rehabbing his injury and was cleared to play in the 2017 season. He played in all 12 games, starting in 11 of those. Stephen made 27 tackles, 10 solo tackles, and 2.5 sacks. Against Buffalo, he had 3 tackles, a fumble recovery, and a 19-yard return in a 7-overtime win. Following the season, Stevens developed another blood clot in his leg, which ended his playing career. Nevertheless, he stayed at WMU for the next 2 years, serving as a student coach. Stephen earned his BS degree, graduating in 2020 with a 3.4 GPA in exercise science. He was recognized on the WMU Academic Honor Roll and Dean's List. Stephen was also involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in high school and college and volunteered with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. After graduation, Stephen worked in medical sales for 3 years before being sworn in as a police officer with the Huntsville PD. He is married to the former Kelly Shutt, and they have a daughter, McKenna Grace. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Stephen Clark. Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Kim Porch will present Stephen with his commemorative plaque and pin. And interestingly enough, Stephen is the first athlete from Brindley Mountain High School to be an inductee into the Hall of Fame.
How are y'all doing? Terrible at speeches, so I'll make it short. First, I want to say what an incredible honor it is to stand before you tonight as an inductee into the Marshall County Hall of Fame. I'm deeply humbled and grateful for this moment. Before I say anything else, though, I want to thank God. Without His grace, guidance, and strength, I wouldn't be here. Every opportunity, every lesson, and every downfall, every success. I give glory to him. To my mom and dad, I want to say thank you for all the sacrifices you made. Every ride to practice, every cheer from the stands, every word of encouragement. When things got tough, your love and belief in me made all the difference. To my coaches, Coach Reese, thank you for seeing something in me even when I didn't see it in myself. You pushed me, challenged me, corrected me, and believed in me. You taught me discipline, leadership, how to work, not just for myself, but for the team. Your impact goes far beyond the field, court, or track. It shaped who I am today. I also want to thank the Hall of Fame committee and everyone involved in selecting me for this honor. I don't take this lightly. I know there are many deserving individuals, and I'm sincerely grateful that you saw something in my story worth remembering. Thank you for this incredible recognition.
People's Bank is my go-to place for banking.
When you deal with People's, their goal is your success.
Here at People's Bank, it's more about a relationship.
I know my bankers, and I've got their cell numbers. I just call them.
If we had been with a larger bank, we would have just been a number. We're supported 100% by People's Bank.
They're our neighbor, they're our friends. We're part of this community.
I went to People's Bank because I knew they were going to take care of me.
People's Bank treat us like we're the most important client they have.
Save big, sell bigger. Now list your home for 2% with RE/MAX Guntersville and RE/MAX Heritage in Arab as they've embraced the new changes in real estate. Call the number on the screen to talk with an agent to find out how you can now keep more of what's yours by listing your home for 2%. Discover the difference with RE/MAX, one of the most trusted names in real estate, where you know you're always getting quality service. Make that call today to start your 2% listing where you'll keep more of what's yours and save big, sell bigger.
At Piggly Wiggly, we work hard to deliver the very best to you and your family. You get the best of both worlds, great quality meats and a super low price. You'll always find low prices throughout Piggly Wiggly.
If your parents and grandparents owned a Ford, odds are they bought theirs at Alexander Ford in Boaz. For over 50 years, Alexander Ford has been known as the Ford store in North Alabama. With some of the same faces you've grown to know and trust, we celebrate our past and are excited about our future. We still do business like we always have without hidden fees and high pressure. You can put your trust in us, just like your parents and grandparents did. Alexander Ford, your family Ford store.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Greg Edmonds. Gregory Lowell Edmonds was born on November 10, 1971, the only child of Lowell and Faye Edmonds of Grant. Lowell was an outstanding All-State Tournament basketball player for the DAR Patriots and a 2023 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Sadly, Faye has passed away. Greg started playing sports with the Southeast Huntsville YMCA at the age of 5. He enjoyed many youth sports, playing football, basketball, soccer, and wrestling. After entering Mountain Gap Middle School in the 7th grade, Greg played football, basketball, and track and field, excelling in both running and field events. Greg moved to Grissom High School, where he started the 9th grade in 1986 and began playing basketball for legendary coach Ronnie Stapler. The family moved back to Grant the following year, where Greg entered the Kate Duncan Smith Daughters of the American Revolution High School. The 6'6" sophomore became a starter for Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame coach Bobby Buford. In 1990, the Patriots beat Guntersville, Arab, and Douglas to win the 1990 Marshall County Tournament, and Greg was selected as the tournament MVP. As a senior, he averaged 26 points and 15 rebounds per game as the DAR Patriots went on to earn their way into the 1990 AHSAA State Basketball Tournament Final Four. In addition to all Marshall County and all area awards, Greg's statewide selections including 1988 Honorable Mention All-State and 1989 Second Team All-State. As a senior in 1990, he was selected First Team All-State, Class 3A Player of the Year, Alabama Sports Writers Association Super 6, Birmingham News and Post Herald Super Senior, and a McDonald's All-American.
Greg also participated on the DAR track and field team, coached by 2021 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame inductee Jimmy Jones. He placed second that year in the Alabama State high jump competition. Following Greg's outstanding high school career, Coach Gene Bartow offered him a scholarship to play basketball at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Greg was redshirted his freshman year at UAB due to a broken foot, but went on to play and lettered in the 1991-92 season. When Coach Bartow announced his plans to retire, Greg signed to play at Jacksonville State University under Coach Bill Jones, a 2002 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame charter class inductee. From 1992 to 95, Greg played for the Gamecocks as Coach Jones led JSU in the transition from NCAA Division II to Division I. Following graduation from Jack State, Greg went to work at Merrill Lynch for 6 years. He currently works in sales and development at Bentley Buick GMC in Huntsville, where he has been named Mark of Excellence Award winner for 6 years in a row. This award is based on his performance and customer approval. Greg and his family now live in Russellville, where he serves as president of the board of directors for the nonprofit The Place of Grace, a faith-based recovery ministry that was started by his wife Jocelyn. The couple have 5 children: Noah, Zoe, Chance, Taylor, and Ethan. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Greg Edmonds.
Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Stacy Anderton will be presenting plaque and pin to Greg Edmonds.
Three minutes, right? Or less. Oh, it's very good to be here. I, too, am very humbled at this opportunity. I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees, and it's just wonderful company to be in here tonight. Such wonderful company, and truly humbled. What a wonderful county, Marshall County, to grow up playing sports. And for those who don't know me, and maybe those that do, 8 short years ago, my life was a little less than worthy, let's say. But thankfully for Christ, I'm standing here today. He's the God of redemption, transformation, and restoration. My folks, I'd like to thank my late mom, Faye Edmonds, who passed away in 2004, to my awesome dad and fellow Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame member, Lowell Edmonds, who coached me from the age of 5, who instilled a spirit of competitiveness in me, who spent many days and nights playing ball in the driveway with me, taught me everything I knew. We've had some trying times, but today we flourish, Dad. I don't know where I'd be without you today. My late grandparents, who I called Ma and Pa, Iris Edmonds and Ernest Edmonds, who encouraged and loved and supported me. Coach Ronnie Stapler. They mentioned I sell cars. I'm mentioning Coach Stapler, not because he bought a car from me this week, but because he taught me the fundamentals of the game, basketball. So very proud to be a member of his team. Coach Bobby Buford, Coach Kirk Jonas, Coach Jimmy Jones, who are all here tonight, Mr. Teal. Very thankful for their love and encouragement, who taught me about the game and how to be a teammate. Coach Gene Bartow, the late Coach Gene Bartow, for giving me the opportunity to play college basketball. Coach Bill Jones, who taught me many lessons in patience and endurance. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. I'd like to also thank DAR High School, Jacksonville State University. I'd like to mention Rodney Friery, who was my academic counselor at the time, for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. I'd also like to thank the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Board. Barry Mayhall, my second cousin, who's here tonight, also a board member. I'd like to thank him for all the times we spent behind Mama Click and Daddy Mac's house playing basketball together. I was always either Enos Watley or Bobby Lee Hurt. Charles Barkley, the many battles we had in the driveway there. I'd also like to say a word about the many encouragers I have in my life today. word about the power of prayer and the selfless individuals in my life. Too many to count. Number one, many years I struggled with addiction. And to the ones that prayed and encouraged me, and many others, I call them selfless encouragers, accountability partners, and prayer warriors, also life coaches. Number one, my wife. Jocelyn James Edmonds, the founder of the Place of Grace, a faith-based nonprofit through which she's helped thousands of women in addiction through the love of Christ. Tom Reynolds, the selfless executive director of His Way, a men's faith-based recovery center in Huntsville, who's demonstrated to me and many others how the life of Christ parallels our life through the gospel. He suggests and counsels and backs everything up with Scripture. This man has been my counsel and dear friend now, whom I meet with every other Wednesday now for 7 years. So thankful. Keith Kofel and his wife Belle, who are also in attendance tonight. Keith is a courtesy van driver for a Honda dealership in Huntsville. But he's way more than that. He leads a life dedicated to helping others through his experience and walk in sobriety, and most importantly, his walk with Jesus Christ. He's a dear friend. He and his wife Belle answer the call every night on my long drive home from work to encourage, love, and listen. I can't say enough about these individuals. There's just so many to count. I wouldn't be standing here without any of them today. Finally, thank you very much. I'd just like to encourage all of you to pray, lead, encourage, and never give up. You never know when you'll reach a fertile soil and a soul in need in what I like to call this wonderful life. Thank you.
Lake Guntersville Pool and Spas is your home for custom pool design and construction, along with service, sales, and repair. They're also your authorized dealer for bullfrog spas and swim spas. For your new construction or redesign of your existing personalized outdoor space, visit our large showroom, located at the top of the mountain in Guntersville. Call Lake Guntersville Pool and Spas at 256-582-4050. Family-owned and operated Discount Building Supply in Warrenton is a whole lot more than building supplies and hardware. Stop by and browse their 130,000 square foot home center. You'll find Poplar smoker grills with supplies and seasonings, family outing and tailgate supplies, Yeti coolers, outdoor and hunting apparel, landscape management supplies, boathouse products, and everything to beautify your outdoor living space. Discount Building Supply and Home Center. 3 generations of the Walker family proudly serving your family.
You'll like banking at People's Independent Bank and PIB Mortgage. Here, you'll receive a high level of personal service, a full array of accounts and services, a variety of mortgage loans, local loan decisions, and you will see active corporate citizenship throughout our footprint. Step up to true community banking at People's Independent Bank. www.pibonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 466340.
Natural gas appliances from your Marshall County Gas District gives your home the clean, comfortable feel of natural gas. And you can get great rebates on brand new natural gas appliances. Gas furnace, a $1,000 rebate. Tankless water heaters, $300. Clothes dryer or gas lights, $200. Cooktop range, $100. Plus $50 back on lights, grill, logs, and wall heaters. Call your Marshall County Gas office for more details. With locations in Arab, Albertville, and Guntersville. Or call toll free at 1-800-552-1382.
Natural gas.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Mark Jones. Mark Anthony Jones was born on September 29, 1960 in Guntersville to Ray M. and Charlotte Godwin Jones. Ray owned a machine shop that made parts for NASA and Redstone Arsenal, while Charlotte served as the secretary for the family business. Mark has an older sister, Rita Morrow, an older brother, Mike Jones, and a younger sister, Lisa Jones. Rita is a graduate of Jacksonville State. Mike has won numerous state championships as the GHS soccer coach, and Lisa is a champion golfer. Growing up in Guntersville, Mark began officiating at a young age. He would serve as a referee for games played in his neighborhood, often making his brother and peers angry as he made decisions in those games. His dad reinforced his love of officiating by making sure Mike and the others knew that Mark's decisions were final. His neighbor, class of 2010 inductee Hut Thomas, would let Mark borrow his officiating equipment to call the games. Mark was a student trainer for all sports as a student at Guntersville High School and was awarded the Dedicated Service Award as a senior at GHS. He was a manager for the 1975 state title-winning Guntersville men's basketball team that featured Marshall County Sports Hall of Famers Kent Looney, Philip Colley, and Coach Jim Rhodes. Mark graduated from Guntersville High in 1978. Mark received a scholarship to become a men's basketball manager at Jacksonville State University under 2002 Hall of Fame inductee Coach Bill Jones. He served as head manager all 4 years. While in college, Mark worked at the Guntersville Rec Center for class of 2009 inductee Bill Moore and began umpiring in the Guntersville Rec Leagues. In the fall of 1979, Mark began officiating high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball. He graduated from Jack State with his bachelor's degree in physical education and sociology in 1982 and received his master's degree in PE in 1983. In 1984, Mark became Jacksonville State's first full-time intramural sports director, which entailed management of Pete Matthews Coliseum and organization of all intramural sports at the university. He also taught officiating classes, and the students he trained served as officials for the intramural games. He held that position for 32 years. During the mid-'80s, he also managed the Henry Farms Park softball leagues. The entire time he worked at Jack State, Mark grew in his own officiating. He officiated high school football until 2008, when he became district director. He called 2 state football championship games, the Class 5A championship in 1997 and the Class 6A championship in 2002. Mark was chosen as the AHSAA Football Official of the Year in 2001. He officiated high school basketball until 2016, including numerous regional tournament games. He called in the girls' state tournament as well. Mark was the assigner for the East Alabama Basketball Officials Association and was a founding member of the Mount Cheaha Basketball Officials Association. Mark and his friend Philip Colley helped develop the current AHSAA regional basketball tournament format, and when the tournament was awarded to Jacksonville State, he became tournament director for many years. In all, Mark actively officiated high school sports in Alabama for 37 years. He also officiated women's college basketball in the Gulf South Conference and the Trans-America Athletic Conference from 1989 to 96. In 2016, AHSAA Director of Officials Greg Brewer retired, and Mark was selected for the job, so he moved to Montgomery. As Director of Officials for every high school sport in the state of Alabama, Mark oversaw registration and training for all officials, assigned playoff and championship games, interpreted rules, and served on the Rules Committee for the National Federation of High Schools. As a member of that committee, he implemented the rule in football for penalties under 2 minutes in the game. The offended team had the option to start the clock on the ready for play or the snap. At the state level, Mark implemented the rule for instant replay in playoffs and championships. He was responsible for bracketing the playoffs in all sports and helped change confusing language for home and away teams. In 2020, amid the COVID pandemic, Mark decided to retire and moved back to Jacksonville, where he currently works part-time in the JSU Athletic Department. He served 2 terms on the Jacksonville City Council from 2008 to 2016, the last 4 years as council president. He has been inducted into the Alabama High School Sports Hall of Fame and the Alabama Sports Officials Hall of Fame. In 2016 and 17, he received the Jimmy Bryan Award for his service to Jacksonville State Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Mark Jones.
Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Mitch Shelton will be presenting Mark Jones with his Hall of Fame plaque and pin.
Patrick, your speech in the earlier was 4.5 minutes, so I've got a little extra time. First, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. As Patrick mentioned earlier, a lot of hard work goes into this from behind the scenes. I know that because I serve on the Calhoun County Hall of Fame board and also as executive director of the State Officials Association Hall of Fame board. But I'm really humbled to receive this honor, especially from my hometown and county, and especially joining such an elite group of Hall of Famers that are in Marshall County. This county has a lot of talented athletes, coaches, and officials that it has produced over the years, as you heard that earlier tonight from Patrick and going over that. It's got a rich history. Marshall County and Gunners will always have a special place in my heart. Even though I've lived in Jacksonville since I went to school there in 1978, this is still home and it's got a special place in my heart. After all, I would not be here where I am today if I had not grown up in Gunnersville, Alabama. There's a lot of people that I like to thank, but there's so many and I'm going to leave somebody out. I'm just going to do it as a group thing. But I first want to thank my parents. I know my dad is here with us in spirit tonight. My mom's at home and was not able to attend, but both of them, along with my brother Mike, my sisters Lisa and Rita, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and a lot of friends that have supported me along the way. Don't ever think that you get somewhere in life without the help of family and friends. After all, my officiating career started in a small little subdivision that was mentioned in the video. All my family and friends supported me during that time, and without that love and support early in life, I dare say I would not be receiving this honor tonight. I love quotes and sayings from movies, and I especially love the Andy Griffith Show. I think everybody ought to watch that show all the time. It'd be a much better world if they would. But here are a couple that I want to illustrate on the importance of friends and family. In the movie The Fried Green Tomatoes, at the end in the cemetery, Iggy tells the other lady that the best thing in life is friends. And she's absolutely right. And then Greg stole my thunder of It's a Wonderful Life. If I ever wrote a book, that's what I would call it. It's a Wonderful Life. But that's a great movie also. But Clarence, the angel, wrote in George's book, "No man is a failure who has friends." Those are great illustrations of what good friends and family are. It's very important in life. I'm going to leave with another quote that I read recently from Socrates. "Smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people learn from their experiences. Stupid people already have all the answers. And trust me, I'm still learning every day." Thank you again for this tremendous honor. I appreciate it. God bless you all.
Congratulations to Buddy Bunch and his staff at Bunch Pharmacy as they were honored as the 2022 Health Mart National Pharmacy of the Year.
As the Electric Board of Gunnersville, we want you to know that we are your partner in the community, and we hope our commitment, character, and integrity shine through every time you meet us as we empower our community to be the best it can be.
Hello, this is Maury Yancey, President of the Lake Gunnersville Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce staff, board, and membership proudly cheer the Wildcats on to victory. When you shop local, you are supporting the future of our young people. The Lake Gunnersville Chamber of Commerce, cheering on the Wildcats.
As the city of Gunnersville continues to grow and prosper, your Gunnersville Water Board keeps pace. For more information on the Gunnersville Water Board, including fast and easy online bill payment, visit their informative website, gvillewater.com.
If you're looking for a rental home or apartment in the Gunnersville area, call on Bonds Real Estate. Visit bondsrealestate.com to search their extensive list of available properties. Bonds Real Estate is another proud supporter of Guntersville Wildcat basketball. First Baptist Church of Guntersville is another proud supporter of Guntersville High School. Best of luck to the Wildcats throughout the seasons. Since 1956 and through 3 generations, the C.A. Langford Company has provided crushed limestone, sand, asphalt, and more, from large commercial projects to small jobs and residential needs. For products and services information, call 582-5723 or visit their informative website, calangford.company.
For over 50 years, the team of former Wildcats and lawyers at Beard & Beard have been proud supporters of the sports and academics of the Guntersville City Schools. We wish our local schools the best of luck and encourage fans to support their teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Emily Woodruff McCord. Emily Ann Woodruff McCord was born on December 3, 1995 in Augusta, Georgia, to Paul and Kathy Woodruff. Paul is a retired teacher and coach at Albertville High School, and Kathy is the chief nursing officer at Marshall Medical Centers. Emily has an older sister, Hannah Wester, who is a physical therapist in New Orleans, and a twin brother, Ty Woodruff, who is the director of video for the Michigan State University football program. Emily played soccer, volleyball, basketball, and softball in the Albertville Recreation Department's rec leagues as a youth. At Alabama Avenue Middle School, now Albertville Middle School, she participated in volleyball and basketball. She continued playing basketball through her junior year. As a 7th grade student at AMS, she was selected for the varsity softball team in the spring of 2009. Emily's dad, Paul, was the longtime coach of the Lady Aggies. He recognized her talent and inserted her into the starting lineup. Emily had 6 stellar seasons as a member of the Albertville High School softball team. She was a career .456 hitter, amassing 379 hits, including 91 doubles and 34 homers, all from the leadoff spot in the batting order. She scored 329 runs in her career and stole 205 bases. All of those marks were in the top 10 all-time in AHS history at the time of her graduation. Albertville High enjoyed great success during Emily's time on the team. They won 5 Marshall County tournament titles and 5 area championships. Additionally, the Lady Aggies made 3 AHSAA state tournament appearances in 2009, 2012, and 2014, where they played to a 3rd place finish. The individual accolades rolled in for Emily throughout her high school career. She was a 4-time Alabama Sports Writers Association first-team All-State selection. She made All-Area and All-Marshall County 5 times, including being named the Marshall County Most Valuable Player twice. She was chosen first-team Huntsville Times Elite and first-team All-Gadsden Times in 2013 and 2014. Her senior year, Emily was chosen for the AHSAA North-South All-Star Game and was named a Max Preps All-American. She was the 2013 Huntsville Times Hitter of the Year. In addition to her high school play, Emily also played travel softball with the Birmingham Vipers. Her team finished 3rd at the 2012 ASA 16U National Tournament, 3rd at the 2013 ASA 18U National Tournament, and 2nd in the 2014 ASA 18U National Tournament. Emily graduated from Albertville High School in 2014 and signed a softball scholarship with her dream school, Jacksonville State University, to play for legendary head coach Jana McGinnis. Emily led the Gamecocks to Ohio Valley Conference regular season championships in 2016 and 2017, and to the OVC tournament title in 2016, 2017, and 2018. The Gamecocks made 3 straight NCAA regional appearances from 2016 to 18, advancing to the regional championship game in the 2016 Auburn Regional and the 2018 Tallahassee Regional. Emily ranks among the Jack State career leaders in stolen bases, at-bats, hits, runs, doubles, and RBIs. She is a career .315 hitter at the Division I level and hit over 300 all 4 years in college. She also slugged 14 home runs and 32 doubles. She was also known for her clutch hitting. She hit .406 in her career with 2 outs and a .393 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Coach McGinnis calls Emily one of the best defenders that ever played for her thanks to her highlight reel plays in center field. Emily recorded 226 career putouts and 20 outfield assists as a Gamecock. Emily played in all 228 games as a Gamecock, starting 227 of them. Just as in high school, Emily was highly recognized during her collegiate career. She was a 4-time All-Ohio Valley Conference selection, including being named to the first team in 2016. She made the OVC All-Tournament team in 2018. She was an academic All-OVC performer and a 2016 All-District selection, while juggling being a student athlete with Jack State's demanding nursing program. Emily graduated magna cum laude from JSU in 2018 with her BS in nursing. On June 14, 2019, Emily married Cass McCord, who is the Assistant Director of Video for the University of Alabama football program. They have 2 children. Son Parker is 2 years old, and daughter Millie Kate was born this past April. Emily currently works as a certified registered nurse practitioner at Dermatology Care of Alabama in Tuscaloosa and works in emergency medicine at DCH Regional Medical Center. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Emily Woodruff McCord.
Bill Aaron, the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame member of the Board of Directors, will be presenting Emily with her plaque and pin.
Good evening, everybody. First off, I just want to thank the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. Being inducted tonight is something that I never imagined, but I'm humbled to be here. To stand among such a distinguished group of athletes and coaches is something I'll always hold dear. Before I go any further, I want to thank God, most importantly, for blessing me with the ability to play the game that I love. Without His grace, none of this would be possible. I'd also like to take a moment to thank some very special people in my life who've played a massive role in shaping my journey. To my family, my parents, my siblings, especially my dad, Paul Woodruff, who was my first coach and my biggest supporter. You taught me what it meant to work hard, stay humble, and never back down. Dad, thank you. Both of my parents never missed a game in my entire college career, which I think says a lot about them and the type of people that they are. Throughout my years at Albertville City Schools, I have some great leaders, specifically Coach Mack. Thank you for your wisdom, your leadership, and your unwavering belief in me that helped mold me into the player and person I became over the years. At Jacksonville State University, I had the privilege of playing for Coach McGinnis. She helped me grow both as an athlete and as a person. You taught me to be mentally tough, to embrace every challenge, and most importantly, to be a leader. She allowed me to pursue my dream of becoming a nurse and ultimately a nurse practitioner. Thank you for showing me what it means to play with heart and passion. Also, to my amazing husband, Cass, thank you for your love and support. Although he's convinced he was a better center fielder than me, he's been my rock and he's been my encouragement. He means the world to me. All of my coaches and teammates and anyone who supported me along the way, this is just as much your achievement as it is mine. You all taught me the value of teamwork and accountability. The lessons I learned from each of you, I'll carry with me every day. Thank you again, and I'm honored to be a part of this incredible legacy.
Everything that we do, we try to do the right thing, own our core values and our statement of purpose. That's the way we live each day.
Since 1952, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service has been the place to take your vehicle for service you can trust. Our family takes pride in carrying on the tradition of providing great service, working with integrity, and giving back to the community. For tires, batteries, auto services, and more, Choose the people you can trust. With 10 locations to serve you, including Albertville and Gunnersville, at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Since 1943, the Municipal Utilities Board has been meeting utility needs of the citizens of Albertville and surrounding areas. From keeping your home comfortable to providing necessary expansions and supporting industrial and commercial growth, MUB provides the utilities you rely on in your everyday life. Electricity, water, wastewater, all at a reasonable cost. MUB is committed to providing reliable service today and resources tomorrow. MUB is proud to be a supporter of this community channel broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Blake Mosley. Blake Mosley was born on May 27, 1983 in Gadsden, Alabama, to Ken and Pam Mosley. Ken played football for Douglas High School, and Pam was a cheerleader at Susan Moore. Blake also has a younger sister, Brooke Langley, who was also an outstanding multi-sport athlete at Douglas High School. She was a member of the Lady Eagles basketball team that went to the Final Four in 2003, played in the AHSAA State Golf Tournament, and also played softball. While Blake is primarily known for his success in golf, he was an all-around athlete, playing basketball and baseball from the age of 10. He played varsity basketball at DHS under Coach Kirk Jonas and was on the 2001 team that reached the AHSAA Elite Eight. Blake was selected All-County in grades 10 through 12 and All-Area in grades 11 and 12. Ken started taking Blake with him to the golf course when he was only 8 years old and bought him his first set of clubs at 9. Due to his father's encouragement, Blake learned the skills quickly and started playing competitive golf in the 7th grade. He joined the DHS golf team when he was in the 9th grade and was an All-Marshall County player in 1998, 99, 2000, and 2001. Blake became one of the most successful high school golfers in Marshall County history. He made the All-State Tournament team all 4 years and was sectional low medalist in 1998, state runner-up in 2000, and state champion in 2001. In addition to AHSAA tournaments, Blake became a regular in many state and national tournaments. A brief summary of his accomplishments include the following: 2000 Alabama State Junior Amateur runner-up, 1998 to 2000 North Alabama Junior Golf Association Player of the Year with 3 first place, 3 second place, and 3 fourth place finishes. 1999 Southeastern Junior Golf Tour with 5 top 10 finishes, and 2000 SJGT Player of the Year, winning 3 tournaments and 4 top 6 finishes. In 2000, prior to his senior year at DHS, Blake placed first at Hoover Country Club to qualify for the United States Golf Association Junior Amateur Championship at Pumpkin Ridge in Portland, Oregon, where he placed 24th nationally. The Gadsden Times named Blake as 2001 Golfer of the Year. He signed a scholarship to play golf at the University of Alabama Birmingham in 2001 and played in the NCAA Championship Tournament in 2002. Blake is the owner of Mosley Flooring Incorporated in Albertville. He married Angel Rogers in 2009. She played basketball and volleyball at Geraldine High School and was a member of the state champion volleyball team in 2000. They have 2 daughters. Maddie is 9 and Ellie is 11. Both play basketball, softball, and volleyball. The family attends Light Point Church. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Blake Mosley.
Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member, Barry Mayhall, second cousin of Greg Edmonds, will present Blake with his commemorative plaque and pin.
I think the bar has been set pretty high for quality of speeches so far. Well done. Congratulations, fellow inductees. As previously stated, I'm incredibly honored and humbled to stand before you tonight as an inductee into this year's class of the Hall of Fame. It's crazy to think how fast time has flown by from a 8-year-old kid that would tag along with his dad on the golf course, just waiting for a few chances to drop a ball and hit a shot, to where I stand now. For many years, golf has brought me the greatest success of my life. And while golf is often considered an individual sport, I do know one thing to be true: it wasn't me alone that got to the spot. First and foremost, I want to thank God. Excuse me. He blessed me with the talent, love, and passion for a game that allowed me to travel places I would have never seen, meet people I would have never met, and spend time with people I love the most. But most importantly, he blessed me with a beautiful wife, Angel, and 2 beautiful daughters, Ellie and Maddie, that mean more to me than any golf tournament I could ever win. No matter what happens in my daily life, I know I always have them to come home to. They truly are everything to me, and I'm thankful to be a part of their lives. To my coaches and mentors, thank you for your time and dedication to helping me become not just a better golfer, but a better person. You challenged me, guided me, and taught me that success is not just one great shot, but consistency, resiliency, and hard work. To my friends and immediate family and extended family in attendance tonight, thank you for not just your support for this award, but for the many memories and good times we've had over the years, on and off the golf course. It's something that doesn't get said enough, but I love you all and appreciate everything you've done to help me and support me through the years. And finally, and this is going to be the tough part, Mom and Dad. What can I say? You two have been there through it all. The ups and downs, the highs and lows, the wins and losses, you guys were always the constant. And still to this day, the ones I look to for advice and guidance. There's no way I could ever repay you for all you've done, but my hope and prayer is that Angel and I can make the same impression on the girls that you've made on me. Simply put, this honor is not possible without you. And I thank you for what you've done and will continue to do. In closing, as I said before, this award is not just about me. It belongs to all of you who helped me get here. I share this moment with you, and I thank you all for being part of the journey. Thank you.
At the Carpet Store, Highway 431 in Albertville, we're more than just our name. Sure, we're carpet, but we're so much more. We're ceramic floors, showers, backsplashes. We're hardwood, laminate, and luxury vinyl tile. We're installation supplies, vinyl flooring, and remnants. Why not visit our beautiful showroom and let our professional sales staff show you all the things we are? The Carpet Store, Mosley Flooring, Highway 431 in Albertville, where we're so much more than just our name.
Hey folks, Mark Brickey, Sand Mountain Toyota. There's a lot to consider when buying a truck. Towing capacity, cab space, gas mileage, resale value. When you're talking with your salesman, is he willing to sit behind the wheel of the same kind of truck he claims to stand behind? Here at Sand Mountain Toyota, we buy what we sell. Not only do we stand behind our trucks, we put our own money and trust in Toyota trucks, just like you. Come by and check out our huge selection of popular Toyota trucks. Sand Mountain Toyota, we're more than a dealership.
Since 1952, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service has been the place to take your vehicle for service you can trust. Our family takes pride in carrying on the tradition of providing great service, working with integrity, and giving back to the community. For tires, batteries, auto services, and more, choose the people you can trust. With 10 locations to serve you, including Albertville and Gunnersville, at Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Drew Phillips. Andrew Michael Phillips was born on March 16, 1992, to Joe and Michelle Phillips at Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Joe and Michelle were stationed there as members of the United States Marine Corps. The family moved to Boaz when Drew was an infant. Drew has an older brother, Anthony, who was an outstanding multi-sport athlete at Boaz High School. The Phillips brothers were able to share time as teammates during their high school days. Drew participated in Pee Wee football through the Etowah and Albertville rec leagues as a youngster. He played basketball and baseball through the Boaz Recreation Center as a youth and also competed on travel baseball teams and AAU basketball teams. He began playing football and basketball at Boaz Middle School as a 7th grader. Drew's high school athletic career is legendary at Boaz High School. He was a star in 3 sports. As a running back for 2024 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame inductee Coach Drew Knowles, he became the all-time leading rusher in Boaz High School history, carrying the ball 881 times for 5,575 yards over 4 years. Both of those are BHS records. He also holds the single-season rushing record with 2,194 yards in 2008. He averaged 142.9 rushing yards per game during his storied career and scored 42 total touchdowns. As a senior, Drew also returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns and had a punt return for a score. After his career was over, he owned virtually every rushing record in the BHS record book. Drew was named All-Marshall County First Team in 2007 and was the Marshall County Player of the Year in both 2008 and 2009. He was the Gadsden Times Player of the Year in 2008 and First Team Offense Selection in 2009. He was chosen for the Huntsville Times Elite 11 in 2008 and was the Times Offensive Player of the Year in 2009. Drew was selected First Team All-State by the Alabama Sports Writers Association in 2009 and was honorable mention in 2008. Drew also dots the Alabama High School Athletic Association record books. At the close of his career, he was both 8th and 14th in single-season all-purpose yards, 3rd in career rushing attempts, and 19th in career rushing yards in state history. Drew also excelled on the basketball court, scoring 930 points in his career. As a JV player, he was named to the All-Marshall County Tournament team. He was an All-Area performer 3 times in 2007, 2008, and 2009. He was the most valuable player of Class 5A Area 13 as a senior. As a junior, he was named All-Marshall County Co-Offensive Player of the Year and was First Team All-Marshall County as a senior. Drew had a stellar track career as well. He was the Marshall County champion in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters and the 4x400 relay. He qualified for the AHSAA State Track and Field Meet in the 100 meters, 200 meters, 4x400 relay, and 4x100 relay as a junior. He finished 6th in the 100 and 7th in the 200. As a senior, Drew really shined. He qualified in 3 individual events, the 100, 200, and 400. He finished 6th in both the 100 and 200 races and finished as the Class 5A state champion in the 400 meters and anchored the state championship 4x400 relay. After graduating from Boaz High in 2009, Drew signed a scholarship to play football at Brigham Young University for Coach Bronco Mendenhall. He stayed in Provo for a season before transferring to East Mississippi Community College in Scuba, Mississippi, where he served a redshirt season. The Lions won the NJCAA National Championship while he was a member of the team. Drew then transferred to the College of the Canyons, a community college in Santa Clarita, California. He set school records for season and career kick returns, kick return yardage, and he returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. He also scored 2 rushing touchdowns and caught 3 passes for TDs. He tallied 1,377 all-purpose yards and was selected All-Western State Conference. While at College of the Canyons, Drew earned an associate's degree in liberal arts and sciences with a concentration in social and behavioral sciences. After a season with the Cougars, Drew transferred to the University of Akron, where he reunited with former Boaz Pirate quarterback A.J. Milwee, who coached him at East Mississippi. Milwee was the offensive coordinator under head coach Terry Bowden. As a junior, Drew appeared in 4 games for the Zips, returning 6 kickoffs. As a senior, he appeared in 9 games, returning 8 kickoffs for 170 yards, good for second on the team. He also had an interception against Eastern Michigan on the last play of the game to seal the win for the Zips over the Eagles. While finishing his degree at Akron, Drew worked as an assistant coach at Notre Dame Cathedral Latin School in Chardon, Ohio. Working as the wide receivers coach, he helped the team do an 8-5 overall record and a playoff berth in 2015, and a 10-4 overall record and trip to the regional finals for the first time in school history in 2016. Drew graduated from the University of Akron in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in education with an emphasis on sports management. Drew returned home to Marshall County and established a small business where he works as a painter and does home remodeling. He is a member of Calvary Missionary Baptist Church in Boaz. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Drew Phillips.
Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Ricky Smith will present Drew with his plaque and pin.
All right. Please forgive me. Not a public speaker. I'm an athlete. First, I want to thank the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Committee for inducting me into the Marshall County Hall of Fame. I am humbled to receive this honor. It's a special moment in my life, and I'm grateful to be in some of the same company as other recipients that have also received this award. I want to single out Coach Patrick Williams for nominating me. I truly feel I've came full circle from being a multi-sport athlete in Marshall County, focusing mainly on football in college, and then receiving this notification in Marshall County is where it all began. Second, I want to thank all my coaches through all my years from Pee Wee to Rec Center, high school to college. Some of my favorite memories were with Coach Drew Knowles and his brother Jason Knowles when we would go on recruiting visits. One of my biggest memories is I went to an Alabama camp and we all had to run 40s, and I ran a 4.39, and the godfather of football, Nick Saban, didn't believe it. So he had them reset the lasers, had me running again, and then after I ran it again, seeing the stunned look on his face after I ran it faster the second time. That was pretty big to me. I want to thank all the fans that came out to the games, no matter what conditions it was, to come out and support the team. Looking back over the years, my college career has been a journey. Fresh out of high school, I went to BYU out in Provo, Utah, where I was tested to my core. I couldn't even drink sweet tea. It was definitely a challenge for me, and I knew it wasn't the place for me. I made some amazing friends and had great times. The following year, I headed to East Mississippi, where I redshirted. It was like God just threw a dart and said, "You're going here." It was out in the middle of nowhere. Then, through all the connections I made at BYU, that landed me in Santa Clarita, California, where I played 1 season there. Then I followed up at Akron, where I finished my career and got my bachelor's degree. Third, I want to acknowledge my family. You all know how important you are to me. I'm grateful that you chose to share this evening with me. You have been an unwavering support system, sacrificing through everything. I always feel like I have a safe harbor to return to when I come home. Your love and constant support has always been the anchor to my brother, who I always look up to. Excuse me. Who I always look up to. He got the smarts, but I think I got blessed with a little bit more athletic abilities and the good looks. Anthony had his fair share of success in sports. The most memorable is probably his best play he might have ever had in his high school career. Got called back all because I got called for blocking in the back. My dad, who always pushed me to excel and be the best I could be, no matter if I was playing chess or what, he wanted me to bring home the championship. He was a track and football star also in high school, but my mom still claims to this day that I got my athletic abilities from her. When Anthony and I was little, my dad would try to make sure that we did the best that we could do. Next, my mom. I can't say enough about her. She's always been there when I needed help. If I was discouraged or ever needed money. At times when I felt like giving up, she would tell me not to quit and that God had me there for a reason. To all my family members here tonight, thank you all for all the support that you gave me. I'll never forget the tailgating that y'all would have at the football games to make it feel like a college atmosphere. At times I couldn't wait to get done with the football games so I could hurry over there and eat my uncle's wings. In conclusion, I just want to tell all young athletes, follow your dreams, never quit. Once you quit one thing, it's going to make it really easy for you to quit the rest of the things in your life. Remember that you're never truly alone. You always have God on your side. I might have thought like Muhammad Ali, I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, and I'm pretty, and I can't be beat. But the only person that can beat you is yourself. So please never give up. Thank you again to the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame for this inducting.
People's Bank is my go-to place for banking.
When you deal with People's, their goal is your success.
Here at People's Bank, it's more about a relationship.
I know my bankers, and I've got their cell numbers. I just call them.
If we had been with a larger bank, we would have just been a number. We're supported 100% by People's Bank.
They're our neighbor, they're our friends. We're part of this community.
I went to People's Bank because I knew they were going to take care of me.
People's Bank treat us like we're the most important client they have.
If your parents and grandparents owned a Ford, odds are they bought theirs at Alexander Ford in Boaz. For over 50 years, Alexander Ford has been known as the Ford store in North Alabama. With some of the same faces you've grown to know and trust, we celebrate our past and are excited about our future. We still do business like we always have without hidden fees and high pressure. You can put your trust in us, just like your parents and grandparents did. Alexander Ford, your family Ford store.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Bill Pike. William Franklin Pike, better known as Bill, was born on February 17, 1944 in Lafayette, Georgia, to Eugene and Bonnie Pike. Eugene was the funeral home director and served as the fire chief of the volunteer fire department. He also played catcher on the community baseball team. Bill had an older brother, Eugene Jr., who was an outstanding football player for the LHS Ramblers. Bill started playing golf at a young age and became very proficient, winning the Northwest Georgia Regionals en route to playing in the Georgia High School Golf Tournament in Atlanta. The coach took the golf team to Augusta for the 1961 Masters Tournament as a reward. While there, Bill was able to sign up for the future Master Patron Badges, starting in 1974 and continuing until today. In addition to golf, his high school coach sent him to an athletic training clinic at the University of Chattanooga, now UTC, so that he could assist in the care and treatment of athletes involved in LHS football, basketball, and track programs. After graduating from LHS in 1962, Bill was offered a scholarship to play golf and serve as a student athletic trainer at Florence State College, now the University of North Alabama. He earned a double major in biology and history and a double minor in chemistry and political science, and decided to teach and coach at the high school level. Coach Pike's first job after graduating from FSC in 1966 was at Robert E. Lee High School in Huntsville, where he coached football, basketball, and golf for 5 years, alongside legendary coach Jerry Dugan. He also used his background as a trainer to help students in all sports. In 1971, Coach Pike returned to UNA to work as the first full-time athletic trainer for the football and basketball teams and coached the track and field team. While there, he earned a master's degree in economics and education. After 2 years at UNA, Coach Pike took a job as a teacher, coach, and trainer at Arab High School. When the boys' head basketball coach resigned prior to the 1973 season, Coach Pike agreed to serve in that capacity for the season. Bill also purchased and managed Twin Lakes and Colonial golf courses. In 1978, Bill became head coach of the Arab Lady Knights basketball program, a job that would become his destiny. Due to the recent passage of Title IX, women's sports were beginning to grow. Even though Arab High School was the smallest 4A school in the state, the Lady Knights soon became one of the top female basketball programs in Marshall County and Alabama. From 1978 to 1995, the AHS varsity girls had a record of 275 wins and 144 losses, a 66% winning record. From 1981 to 1990, the Lady Knights won 9 consecutive Marshall County championships and 1 runner-up. In postseason, Coach Pike's varsity girls also won 3 regional and 4 area championships, qualified for the sub-state tournament 7 times, and advanced to the quarterfinals twice. The 1983-84 team went 24-0 before losing in the state quarterfinals. Coach Pike had 31 girls to receive college basketball scholarships during his tenure at AHS. Due to his success in the early years of girls varsity sports, Coach Pike is considered by many as the father of girls basketball in Marshall County. Coach Pike continued to teach at AHS and operate Twin Lakes Golf Course until retiring in 1995 after 27 years in education. Bill sold Twin Lakes, and he and his wife of 59 years, Ellen Allen, moved to Highland, North Carolina, where he sold real estate. Bill also bought and developed another golf course. In 2023, he and Ellen returned to North Alabama and currently live in Huntsville. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Bill Pike.
Unfortunately, Coach Pike is a little bit under the weather and is not able to be with us, but thankfully, his wife, Mrs. Ellen Pike, is here to accept his plaque and pin from Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Kevin Surratt. Now, if you will turn your attention to the video screens, we have a special acceptance speech from Coach Pike.
Honor comes in many forms. Tonight, this honor is for my family, friends, and foe. As a coach, we come in contact with all walks of life, starting with my family, my wife of 59 years, Ellen, my players and their families, the coaching staffs over the years and their families, Archie Anderson and the media, and all who have helped in our success. Thanks for the memories.
And if you would, keep Coach Pike in your prayers.
Family-owned and operated Discount Building Supply in Warrenton is a whole lot more than building supplies and hardware. Stop by and browse their 130,000 square foot home center. You'll find popular smoker grills with supplies and seasonings, family outing and tailgate supplies, Yeti coolers, outdoor and hunting apparel, landscape management supplies, boathouse products, and everything to beautify your outdoor living space. Discount Building Supply and Home Center. 3 generations of the Walker family proudly serving your family.
Natural gas appliances from your Marshall County Gas District gives your home the clean, comfortable feel of natural gas. And you can get great rebates on brand new natural gas appliances. Gas furnace, a $1,000 rebate. Tankless water heaters, $300. Clothes dryer or gas lights, $200. Cooktop range, $100. Plus $50 back on lights, grill, logs, and wall heaters. Call your Marshall County Gas office for more details. With locations in Arab, Albertville, and Guntersville. Or call toll free at 1-800-552-1382.
Natural gas.
Now we'll move on. Our next inductee, Will Ratcliffe.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Will Ratcliffe. William F. Ratcliffe, better known as Will, was born on November 17, 1976, to Dr. Alfred A. and Gaynell Ratcliffe. Dr. Ratcliffe worked with Dr. Wayne Peters and Dr. Michael Ballou in forming the Sand Mountain Family Practice Center in Albertville. Doc Al and his partners served as team doctors for the Aggie athletic and band programs for over 25 years. In high school, Al was an offensive lineman and wrestler, competing in the state wrestling tournament and wrestling in college at Virginia Tech. Gaynell excelled in softball and was a registered nurse, a member of the Marshall County Board of Education, and served in many local service organizations. Sadly, both have passed away. Will has an older brother, Alfie, who was a member of the Aggie band, golf, and tennis teams, and a sister, Dr. Ann Elizabeth Jacobson, who was a talented dancer at Birmingham Southern. Will played football at Albertville High School for Hall of Fame coach Paul McAbee from 1992 to 94. He was a tight end and long snapper and a two-time All-Marshall County and All-Area player. Following his senior season, Will was recognized as a Bryant Jordan Scholar Athlete, First Team Alabama Sports Writers Association All-State, Birmingham News Honorable Mention All-State, Academic All-Star, and winner of the Vernon Wells Award. He was also captain of the track and field team, winning first place in the discus at the county track meet and fourth in the state meet. Following an outstanding career at AHS, Will received several offers to play college football, finally deciding to play for the Crimson at Harvard University in the Ivy League. Will played center and long snapper on the 1995 freshman team before moving up to the varsity as a sophomore. He played in every game that year at center and was awarded the 1996 Dan Jiggett's Most Improved Offensive Lineman Award. Will's line coach was Joe Philbin, who later became head coach of the Miami Dolphins. In the spring of 1997, Will started at center when Harvard went to Kyoto, Japan for a nationally televised game celebrating the 50th anniversary of American football in Japan. In preseason practice that year, he received a lower back injury. After extensive rehab, Will was able to return to play as Harvard beat rival Yale in the last game. The Crimson won the Ivy League championship, and Will received an Ivy League championship ring. However, the back injury continued to plague his performance, and he returned home for surgery at UAB. Will was advised to give up football prior to his senior year. While recuperating at home, he helped Coach McAbee with the Aggie linemen before returning to complete his degree at Harvard, graduating in 2000. In addition to football, he was also on the track and field team, throwing the shot, discus, and hammer. Following graduation from Harvard, Will worked 2 years at a guest ranch in Colorado before returning to Alabama to work for the Birmingham Office of Economic Affairs and the Birmingham Zoo. In 2006, he represented the city of Birmingham and the zoo in Hitachi, Japan. Will was also employed at UAB in cardiovascular disease research and currently works with the Helena Police Department. For several years, he also served as a football and baseball official for the AHSAA and the Sun Belt Conference. Will's wife, Cappy, works in the counseling department at Thompson High School. They have 3 children, William, 10, and twins Benjamin and Ann Elizabeth, 8. The boys play youth football, baseball, basketball, and soccer, and Ann Elizabeth plays soccer and dances. The family attends Briarwood Presbyterian Church, where Will serves as a deacon. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Will Ratcliffe.
And we have a special presenter for Will tonight as inaugural Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member and Will's high school coach, Paul McAbee. Will present him with his plaque and pin. And by the way, Will becomes the first Ivy Leaguer to ever be inducted into the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame.
Wow, thank you. I made a few notes. First, I want to say we're almost there, folks. We're getting there. I'm next to last. I'd like to start off with a verse from Nehemiah that just sums up a little bit about how I think about Almighty God and what He's done for me in my life, and how the praise and honor I'm getting tonight, I would love to be reflected onto Him. From Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 5. Stand up and bless the Lord your God from everlasting to everlasting. Blessed be your glorious name, which is exalted above all blessing and praise. Amen. I want to start off by thanking the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Board and all its members for this wonderful honor. Couple of personal notes. I'd like to thank Mr. Patrick Williams. He was the one that called me to tell me the great news. Now, had I known he was a Boaz pirate, I may not have accepted the call. Thankfully, in hindsight, I did. Thank you, Patrick. To Dr. Richard Ferguson, Butch, as most of us know him who grew up in Albertville with him, thank you so much for helping me through the process of getting me here tonight, knowing what I needed to do. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Shannon Allen, every time I came home from school, I would see Shannon at a basketball game or somewhere out at Albertville, and he would always ask me to sit down and tell him what's going on with football, with my life at Harvard, with everything going on. So I appreciate you, Shannon, just keeping up with me and all you've done for sports in Marshall County. To my fellow inductees, I'm so honored to be sharing this stage with you tonight. You're all outstanding athletes and members of your community, and I'm so proud to be up here with you. I'm going to give a special shout out to Emily Woodruff McCord, my fellow Aggie tonight. Go Ags. There are many family and friends here tonight, some that came from long ways away. So I apologize if this goes over 3 minutes, but they came from a long way. They're going to hear about it. To my wife and kids, Cappy, I'm so thankful for you and all your love and support. You're everything I wanted in a wife and all that I didn't know that I needed. I love you. To William, Benjamin, and Annie, I'm so proud of all three of you. I'm so happy that you are mine, and I'm so glad you are here tonight. I love you. To my mom and dad, Doc Al and Gaynell, I could go for an hour. I won't. My dad, some of you may remember when he was, a doctor all over the county, from house visits to, late nights running to the hospital to deliver babies. Somehow, he always found a way to make my games from Little League through high school. And even with games up in New England, he and my mom came to 6 games a year. They came to every home game, and they would choose one away game, coming to Yale twice, 1 game in Columbia so they could go to New York for the weekend, and then 1 game at the University of Pennsylvania so they could go through Philadelphia for that weekend. So it kind of worked out. They also made the trip to Japan, because why not? My dad was tireless. For almost 30 years, he volunteered as a team physician for the Albertville Aggies. Only 3 of those years did he have somebody playing on the field. And his career with that started in about 1979. My first year on the field wasn't until 1993, so it wasn't foreshadowing. He wasn't looking forward to me getting there. He just felt the need to serve. And I'm so proud of him for that. But I'll tell you, those of you who knew my dad, he wasn't all butterflies and rainbows all the time. I'll give you a for instance. Not too far from here, where the Albertville Rec Center used to stand, I was playing a basketball game against the Arab Knights. I was about 12 years old, I think. I was the largest person on the floor, including coaches and referees. And I took possession of the lane, as I was told to do. I had several clean blocks in that game, and a few not so clean ones, and I eventually fouled out of the game. The Arab parents and supporters decided they would stand up and cheer as I fouled out of the game. Well, I proceeded to walk to midcourt and bow. And over the cheers of the crowd, I could hear my father, "William, sit down now." So I tucked my tail, slumped my shoulders, ducked my head, sat on the bench, didn't say a word, and I did not dare look behind me to see what he was looking like. But there are lots of other lessons like that I wish I could tell you about that my father showed me. But Patrick told me I only had 3 minutes. My mom, you know, a lot of times if you're a good athlete, a lot of it has to do with some genetics. And you saw where, you know, my dad was a football player and college wrestler. My dad would be happy to tell you, and he would tell us all the time, all our athletic ability and all our intelligence came from our mother. And he wasn't kidding. Dr. Ratcliffe was not the smartest person in our family by far. And he was proud of that. But the thing I miss most about my mother was she was a prayer warrior for me, especially during football games, and especially during the times where I sustained some injuries. And I think I miss that the most. To my dear siblings, Alfred III and Anna Elizabeth, you saw some wonderful pictures of their high school times from the 1980s. You're welcome. My brother Alfie's 10 years and 2 days older than I am. I was the best 10th birthday present in the history of birthday presents, and he would agree with that. Now that we're a little closer in age, as it were, some people often ask, you know, which one of us is older, which upsets me a little bit. I've also had people ask me in the Birmingham area, "Hey, does your father work for CBS 42? Nope, that's my brother. There was one game that my dad missed when I was in Little League that I can remember, just one. And I remember it because my brother had to take me there. My mom couldn't be there, my dad couldn't be there. I was probably 6, which would have made Alfie 16 and able to drive. And I remember, and it was on the field that was on the other side of McKinney, where we used to have baseball fields over there. I was playing catcher. And Alfie was in the stands on the third base side. And there came a play at the plate, and I made an outstanding play for a 6-year-old. But I remember distinctly hearing from out of the stands, "That's my little brother." And those 10 years melted away in a second. And I was so proud to be Alfie's little brother right then. I love you, brother. Thank you for everything. My sister, Anna Elizabeth, 5 years older than me. Now, a lot of times when a younger brother does well in sports, especially like football, people will assume that they get some toughness, some physical and mental toughness from their older brother from kind of being a bully. Alfie was 10 years older. We didn't interact that much. He was too busy driving and listening to The Who. My sister, on the other hand, was home with me a lot, and she had much more to do with my physical, especially my mental toughness, because she could be brutal, including sticking her toes in the shag carpet of my bedroom because she knew she couldn't come all the way in. It would drive me nuts. As well as dropping a 5-pound weight on my head. She says it was an accident. I'm not so sure. Still made it to Harvard somehow. But in all seriousness, I owe a lot to her, my balance and my agility. And Elizabeth was a wonderful dancer. Was on the dance team in college. And when I was an adolescent and teen, she would come home and I would practice with her. I got pretty good at it. And I would eventually become one of the Dancing Bear offensive linemen. And I'm so thankful for all the time that we spent together doing the fun things we found to do. I love you, Aunt Elizabeth. My stepmother, Nancy. Nancy, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for all you've done for me and my family. Most importantly, for all the love that you shared with my father. Love you, Nan. Now, some close friends that are almost family. The Cole family. Richard and Shannon were a second set of parents to me. From the time I was 16 till today when I got to their house. The both of you have meant so much to me over the years. You've shown me so much love. And if I could wish one thing, it would be that Richard could be here tonight to slap me on the back and give me an attaboy, Wilbur. Jason, I want to thank you for the friendship that we've built over the last 20 plus years, and for being a brother in Christ whenever I needed one. Which brings us to Nathan. Where do I start? Should I tell them the story about the possum, the chicken, the toilet, or the kidnapping? I don't know that we have time for all those, but ask me about them later. I will tell you this, Nathan. You've made me a better athlete, a better person, a better friend, and a better Christian. And I love you, brother. Two other teammates are here tonight, Sid Golden, Shannon Williams. Sid and Shannon didn't start playing high school football until they were in the 11th grade. So they were a little behind as far as on-field experience went. Sid made up for his lack of on-field experience just through sheer toughness and tenacity, and a few holding penalties, or more. Shannon, nobody loves Aggie football more than Shannon Williams, AKA Aggie Williams. Shannon moved to Albertville when he was in the 8th grade and developed a severe case of hatred of Boaz, Gunnersville, and Arab. And to this day, still hasn't gotten over it. Love you, brother. Two of my coaches are here tonight. You saw one present me with the award. There's another, my offensive line coach from high school, Coach Darrell Cooper. Coach Cooper had a fire for O-line play, a burning desire to see us do a good job. And he was not someone that you wanted to get sideways of. I'm not going to say that Coach Cooper had a bad temper, at least not to his face. But Coach Cooper once made a remark to me. He wished he had more players like me. And Coach Cooper, I'm going to have to tell you, I would not have been half the player I was had it not been for you yelling and the mean looks, but also for the teaching and the holding me to a higher standard. And I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Coach McAbee. Coach McAbee is the biggest cheerleader for Albertville sports, probably in the history of dear old AHS. For folks that played sports at Albertville long before me and before him, to people that continue to play today after he has retired from Albertville High School. And I will tell you right now, I went to Harvard to play football, and I am standing on this stage tonight due in very large part to Coach Paul McAbee. Now, during recruiting in the mid-90s, we didn't have the internet yet. Everything was done by mail and the occasional phone call. And unless you're a 5-star guy, where everybody knows your name, you're a 3-star-ish guy like I was, you start by getting letters from different places. Coach Mack saw some of the letters I was getting. By the way, Coach didn't tell me this story. I've heard it from other people, because he would not tell me something to brag about himself. He saw some of the letters I was getting from some of the Ivy Leagues and the service academies and things like that. And on his own, he decided, well, if these are the kind of schools that want Will, maybe Harvard would too. Unbeknownst to me and my parents, Coach McAbee made a highlight film and sent it to Harvard. About a week later, I had Harvard coach sitting in my living room. And that's what got it started. A man of his own volition, of his own accord, without anybody asking him to, just thinking, hey, maybe this kid's got a chance at something like this. because I guarantee you Ivy League was not on my radar. I wanted to play football somewhere close to home so my friends and family could come watch me, so people would know about me, instead of being in some far off, stupidly cold land where I had no family or friends. But it worked out. Coach Mack has continued to sing my praises for years, and he's been a good friend, and I thank you very much, Coach Mack. I want to finish up with a couple of short stories, if you'll indulge me, because they bring Harvard and Marshall County a little closer to home. In my freshman year, I'd made it up to the second team, and I was going through some drills, and my head coach came over the drill and called me out. And I jogged over to him, and I said, "Yes, coach." And he said, "Will, do you know who many people consider to be the greatest offensive lineman in the history of football?" I said, "Well, coach, a lot of people would say John Hannah." And he said, "Will, do you know why he was so great?" True story. I said, "Well, he's from my high school, and he grew up in my hometown." And he looked at me and he said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I know John. I know the whole family. My dad's their family doctor. I grew up with his nieces and nephews. Great guy." He said, "Really?" He bowed his head and he walked away. To this day, I still have no idea what he was trying to teach me about John Hannah and how great an offensive lineman he was. Who knows how good I could have been had he told me. Second, my great friend Richard Cole was fond of saying that there are two types of football players, especially when it comes to two-a-days. There are those who quit and those who think about quitting. I am in the latter. I certainly thought about it during two-a-days. During my freshman year, towards the end of the second week of two-a-days, and for you guys who played football, this will hopefully resonate. I get to the second practice of the day, putting my pads on. You know, your shoulder pads kind of squish on your shoulders because they're still wet from the first practice. And the smell, oh, the smell. And I'm walking out towards the practice field. And as I get to the gate, I pause because I know as soon as I step foot on that grass, I got to hit it at a run. Because there's no walking on the field, right, boys? And as I'm standing there at the gate, contemplating whether or not I really want to play football bad enough to stay, I look over, and just beside the gate is a red, shiny Mueller Company, Albertville, Alabama fire hydrant. I walked over, I gave it a little rub, and I thought, I can do this. There's a piece of home right here on the practice field. And I rubbed that thing every day for every practice for the next 4 years. A piece of home was close enough for me. Again, I want to thank you all for coming tonight. For my friends and family, thank you so much. Y'all have a great night.
Since 1943, the Municipal Utilities Board has been meeting utility needs of the citizens of Albertville and surrounding areas. From keeping your home comfortable to providing necessary expansions and supporting industrial and commercial growth, MUB provides the utilities you rely on in your everyday life. Electricity, water, wastewater, all at a reasonable cost. MUB is committed to providing reliable service today and resources tomorrow. MUB is proud to be a supporter of this community channel broadcast.
At Piggly Wiggly, we work hard to deliver the very best to you and your family. You get the best of both worlds, great quality meats and a super low price. You'll always find low prices throughout Piggly Wiggly.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025 inductee, Trellis Wright. Charles Trellis Wright was born on July 16, 1917, in Boaz to Hollis and Fanny Dendy Wright. The Wright family owned and lived on a farm in Boaz. Trellis had a brother, Holbert, who became a coach, and a sister, Myrtle Lou Geiger, who was the mother of 2016 Hall of Fame inductee Jimmy Geiger and the mother-in-law of 2002 inductee Travis Hunt. Trellis began his outstanding athletic career at Sneed Seminary, playing both football and basketball under Coach Bill Battle Jr., a 2020 Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Trellis had a productive junior year as a member of the Sneed basketball team. When Sneed rechartered itself in 1935 to Sneed Junior College, the secondary school began to be phased out. Coach Battle urged Trellis to transfer to the brand new Boaz High School to complete his senior year. He participated on the first BHS basketball team under Coach T.G. Tom for the 1935-36 season. Trellis, also known as Hoss, had an outstanding senior season. Unfortunately, Boaz High didn't field a football team until the fall of that year, so Trellis played just the one sport his senior year. He graduated as the first valedictorian of the new Boaz High School. After graduating, Trellis received a scholarship to play both football and basketball at South Georgia Teachers College, now called Georgia Southern University. Coach B.L. Crook Smith was both the basketball and football coach. However, lack of money forced Trellis to leave school. Trellis also participated in boxing. One article from the Boaz News Leader in 1937 stated, "One of the most interesting bouts of the evening was the fight between Trellis Wright and Knockout Kelly. These boys seemed to thrive on punishment. They put aside all caution and went to war." Trellis began officiating junior high basketball games for $1 a night, a fair amount for a young man who really needed the money. It wasn't long before he was making $2 a night, sometimes walking several miles to get to the games. He progressed up the ranks to calling high school games and affiliated with the Gadsden Officials Association. After seeing a need for a new association on Sand Mountain, he founded North Alabama Officials Association in the late 1950s. He served as the executive secretary and a signer for the association until his retirement in 1976. Throughout his officiating career, Trellis was well respected. He officiated numerous AHSAA state championship games and all-star contests. He once called 10 games in one day at the AHSAA District 8 tournament. Along with his work in the sport of basketball, he also officiated high school football across the state of Alabama. Trellis also called games at the collegiate level. He officiated in the Alabama Junior College Conference and the Alabama Collegiate Conference. Once in a game at Jacksonville State versus the University of Chattanooga, Trellis was officiating in a gym with a leaky roof. He urged them to postpone the game, remarking that someone was going to get hurt. They went ahead and decided to play. Sure enough, Trellis was the one who slipped on a wet spot and fractured his leg. When Trellis retired from officiating in 1976, he had officiated more games than any other person in the history of the AHSAA. His 40-year career was so legendary that the AHSAA threw a reception for him in Tuscaloosa in recognition of his service to high school athletics. His dedication and love for sports, his fostering of sportsmanship and fair play, and his adherence to the rules of the game were unmatched in the state of Alabama. Trellis worked at Republic Steel in Gadsden for all the years that he officiated. He would often call games, then work an 11 to 7 shift at the plant. Additionally, he and his wife Pat owned and operated the Victory Cafe in downtown Boaz for many years. The Wrights were very active in Julia Street Methodist Church in Boaz, where Trellis taught Sunday school. He also served as a speaker for Gideon's International. After retirement, Trellis moved to Robertsdale to be near his daughter Linda and his grandchildren. Sadly, he passed away on May 2nd, 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame Class of 2025 inductee, Trellis Wright.
We're honored tonight to have Trellis's daughter, Mrs. Linda Gregg, and his granddaughter, Ms. Christy Brown, here to accept his plaque, and they will be awarded that plaque and pin by Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame board member Frank Maston. One of the things that we learned after we completed the video was that Trellis, you saw, was in the first graduating class of what we know now as Boaz High School. And he gave Boaz High School the nickname Pirates. So a little bit of trivia there for you guys. And his granddaughter, Christy Brown, is going to come accept on his behalf.
Hey everybody, save the best, my granddaddy for last. Just kidding, everybody here is beyond deserving and we are honored to be a part of you. My granddaddy would be so happy to be here tonight at his induction into the Hall of Fame. My mom and I are humbled and happy to accept on his behalf. Obviously, I came along long after my granddaddy hung up his striped shirt and whistle, but I never underestimated his love of the game. And I got to witness his love of the game all throughout my high school and college career as a cheerleader. He never missed a game, ever. And so although I didn't see him on the fields in Marshall County, I got to see him loving the game. And I would watch him sometimes and see a bad call and he would like puff out his cheeks and poke out his lip, and I feel like he really wanted to have a whistle because he really wanted to make sure that the call went correctly, but he didn't. He just puffed out his lips and looked at me and smiled. He was an amazing man. He loved the game. Black and white was his favorite color shirt, whether it was striped or houndstooth, Roll Tide. He loved the game. He loved to be a part of it on and off the field and court. And we are just so appreciative to Marshall County for honoring my granddaddy. He was an amazing man and he served his community well. So thank you so much and have a great night.
Congratulations to all of our inductees and our contributors. Just as a word of information, these videos will be up on our Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame YouTube channel very, very soon. Not sure if that will be done tonight or in the next few days, but these videos will be available for your consumption if you would like to look those up. And also, the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame website has connections to those, has every video that we've ever done for any of our inductees. That's mcshof.org. If you'll go there, you can click on any name, you can go to their written bio, you can go to their video, and we'll have these from tonight up just as soon as we can. So be looking for those in the next few days. That's all. We are so happy that everyone came tonight. We look forward to seeing you next year, where we will have a whole new slate of inductees. So we ask that you, am I missing something? We ask that you drive safely as you go home. Stick around as long as you want. Make pictures over here if you want to. But thank you very much and good night.
Horizon Communications' archives of local high school sports and school programs now spans decades and generations, covering multiple sports and programs. DVDs of these memorable events make the perfect gift for any occasion, and the cost is simple and affordable. The first game or program DVD is $20, the second game or program is $15, and then any others are only $10 each, all on their own individual DVD. Pre-1990 games converted from coaches' films are as low as $5 per game. We have hundreds of games from the late 50s on up. Give us a call at 256-582-7373, message us on Facebook, or email mharden@horizoncommunications.net to check the availability of your desired event. Let Horizon Communications help you with the gift of video to be treasured for a lifetime.